So as you see, in the last video, I showed you how to create a workspace. This is your workspace. So this workspace is your own, think of it as a virtual workspace. It's your own personal. You can share it with others if you are trying to be a little bit more collaborative and you have external teams or cross-functional teams that you're dealing with and you want to share information with them pretty quickly or them help you edit things like that. That's when you can share your workspace with other people. But just know that the workspace is intended to be your workbench, where you're building out things to either help your workflow, improve your workflow, or optimize your workflow, or for others. So, in the last video, you see me create the workspace. Now, this video is going to focus on starting with a project plan. And so, we'll start with the project plan. I'll show you how reports look. I'll show you how dashboards look. But one step at a time. So, this is the project test toolkit in my workspace that I just created. I will show you this toolkit here. So in this toolkit is all of the different uh, sheets, dashboards, and um, reports needed to get us to that um, the outcome of the dashboard that you're looking for. So a lot of these sheets are pre-populated. And obviously, any of these sheets, reports, and dashboards should be customized to how you want to see things or the organization that you're working for wants to see things. So just because it's this way doesn't mean it has to stay that way. This is a launching pad to get you started. So you always want to start with the project plan first because how you start is how you finish. So always begin with the end in mind when you're building out a project plan. Because if it's not at the sheet level or at the plan level, then it will be very difficult to report or to roll up into a dashboard. The main thing is if you want to see milestones, you should make sure that you have a milestone column on your sheet. If you want to see at-risk items on the dashboard, make sure this is on your sheet. If you want to see task and duration, start and finish, predecessors, department. Again, all these things can be customized. You can change the name here. I'm just clicking on some of the things that a lot of these columns that you can do with drop down, date, duration, contact list, so on and so forth. So when you're assigning things to people. So when you're assigning things to people, keep in mind that these have to be licensed users. So oftentimes they cannot be, I should say, and they also have to have the same domain as the organization. So if it's outside the domain, then it probably they cannot edit anything in the sheet or do anything with it. And I will explain in other videos how you can collaborate with people who do not have a license outside of the organization or who are within the organization but just don't have a license. So, anyways, from left to right, because I wanted the dashboard to look a certain type of way, these are the columns. And with this, it's Gantt view. So you can always change your views up here. Calendar view, card view, Gantt view, or grid view. I'm going to do grid view for this purpose because I really don't want to see the Gantt view at this time. Uh, so let me just explain a little bit about this sheet and what you can do with this sheet. So you have file up here. You can create things, export things. Say you already have something built in Excel and you don't want to start from scratch, developing out these columns and stuff. You can import it right into here and everything will line up like it does on your Excel. So you wouldn't even have to rebuild anything. So if you already managing your projects and stuff in Excel and you want to automate, you can do that and import it right in here into Smartsheets. And then here are some other platforms that it integrates with very well, as you can see. Obviously, you would want to work with your ID department to, look at some of those things that you can integrate with. Um, Other things is sometimes if you create something really nifty and you don't mind sharing your knowledge, you can save how you did things. um, all this will be cleared out, obviously, and they can be able to start from scratch without having the huge learning curve. So that's a good feature there to save as or save new. You can share this again, like I said, with licensed users, export, print. And if you want to ever audit anything like that, you could also view the activity log. So that those are really good features. If you want to automate things, you can do that. You can start from scratch. For here, I do have one. So anytime a row or something changes or whatnot, it notifies me. Like I don't have to go in every day and look up if somebody added something to my tracker. I'll get notified right on my, excuse me, I'll get notified right through my email that a row has been added or something's been changed. So it's nice to not to have to worry about that piece. I'll get into forms a little bit for project plans. You simply don't need to use a form at this detailed of a level, but project forms do come in handy if you're trying to collect information and then it lands on a back end sheet like this. There's a difference between forms and sheets. So this is a sheet view that we're looking at. I'll cover forms later, but just so you know that we can talk about those things. Connections, again, you always want to get with your IT department or whoever your IT person is. And if some of these things, are not, available to you, they could still be available. A dynamic view, just some things there that you can look at and click on. What else? Filter, you can filter out if you just want to see closed items or complete items, different things like that. So let me just put in closed items filter. So that will be in the status column, status. If any of them says complete. Actually, let me put complete. And I do all my training in real time so people can see. So yes. So the filter here. So you're going to see the complete items. So you can do the same thing for any new filter if you only want to see in progress, whatever. But if you want to click off the filter, you just click filter off. Okay. Everything across here kind of looks similar to Excel, right? So you got your different font sizes, different things like that. That looks very familiar. Why this looks familiar like Excel is it's an automation from Excel. It's very good. Um, and it's almost like an Excel on crack. So I call it. And then you have your share options here. So you can share the workspace or the sheet. I recommend sharing sheet only just because remember I was saying that the workspace was a little bit private. So you don't want everybody in your workspace. So you can always just share the sheet to whoever you're working with. Maybe you're working with a team, maybe you're working with a couple individuals outside the department, but always share the sheet. And then there's different permissions that you can give them. You can give them admin, viewer, editor can share, editor cannot share. And I can go in later and talk about those permission levels. You can also have conversations with people. So over here, you can have conversations over here, but over here, maybe you're talking about this one particular task and you want to have a conversation. So you can do app mentions here, which is all great, right? You can attach things. You can add proofing if some people need to make comments about things or make edits. You can add proofing, or you can set this as a reminder. Um, I'm not going to go into a lot of these right now. I'll cover some of those topics in a little bit, but I'm just trying to basically show you kind of the capability of and the functionality this sheet has. So as you're building things out, keep those things in mind. Also keep in mind when you're exporting that you will lose the attachments or the comments. But everything else in the columns will be exported to Excel if you ever had to export. But keep in mind, comments and attachments do not um, go away. So or go along with the export. Sorry. You can generate with AI tools, work insight, resource management. This is a big one that I know organizations are looking for is resource management. That's another whole topic we can talk about later. You can summarize this sheet and use it on dashboards, activity log. That's good for like auditing. Publish is cool if as long as your organization is fine and don't have a security concern. But if you're working with agencies, public sector companies, they're usually tighter on security. Update requests, uh, some of those you don't have to really worry about. But yeah, so this is the gist of what a project plan typically look like. Obviously, always customize to your environment. Um, um, and and not just go off of this, okay? But if you want the type of dashboard that I did build, this is an easy jump start to get started. Again, all you do is double click, put the rows, and then you add what type of column type it is, so on and so forth. Okay, so this was very, very this is very simple to do, and it should not be that difficult. So I hope that you learn the first step to creating a dashboard. But one key thing to keep in mind, always remember what you want on the dashboard needs to be in at the sheet level. This is the sheet level. Okay, this is where reports pull from. This is and dashboards pull from reports. So if you don't have a field for it or any data in that column, it will not be reportable. Okay. So just keep that in mind. And so I hope that this was very helpful for you. And the next video that I make, I will show you how to build a report.